Yeah, everybody. Yeah, there we go. We're us live, and now I'm recording. Okay, so here I am on election day, November 8th of 2022, general election, and we're here on the campus of UCF in the Burger U. Be outside right now, except it's decided to pour on me, and then it's not raining now, and I go set up, I'll come back in because it's raining again. So, with me, you can't make this shit up, is my friend John, our intern. Tell him a little bit about yourself, John.
Well, I am a UCF senior film student. That might be the word.
Get yourself close.
All right, working now?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
All right. Like I was saying, I am a UCF senior film student. I'm on my last semester now and just decided to get into marketing, where I met this fine gentleman over at the UCF Intern Pursuit just a couple weeks ago.
David?
And David, I also met David, yeah. And once I met you guys, I was like, all right, well, political campaigning, not something I saw myself doing, but absolutely something I could get interested in. So here I am.
So you're interning, you want to be in marketing. Anybody looking for some young, eager talent, we have it at JNW. Our interns are absolutely phenomenal. The work we've been doing lately has been instrumental to helping us move forward with our different ventures. So, why election day and why broadcast? David wanted us to do this. So, really, we want to kind of get out there and find out what's going on. So, we're going to probably talk to some students. I'm going to get David to probably pop in on his phone. It's hot in here, which is unusual.
It is very hot. Yeah.
So, I apologize.
Not much better outside, though. It's about 79 degrees and humid.
It's probably because I left the window open when you went over there. It'd be a nice breeze over there. But excuse me while I eat for some time. Spirits, always a beer or nice wine, especially midday. It's gonna be a long day, so hopefully we're celebrating again. So I'm wearing my Bringing America Together tag. If you can't see that because it's so small, but that's because not just is this J in Washington, but the nonprofit Bringing America Together again. That's its meat and potatoes. Nonpartisan, nonprofit that is really looking at who represents the actual district, who actually would do the best job, and follow through with, bringing America together. So I'll give you an example. Now, Bringing America Together has Democrats and Republicans on our board, so we have to be very cognizant of what we're doing. So some of our surprises, you'd think it's Florida, but it's Orlando. So downtown in Orlando, you got Anna Eskamani. She's running against Bonnie Jackson. So Bonnie Jackson, phenomenal individual. I know her. She's a good lawyer, a good Republican. When you look at the passion of her opponent, the current representative, Anna V. Eskamani, you can't, as an organization, not see her getting the votes. So she got the votes on the board, and she became our endorsement. So same thing with Carlos Gamma Smith. So those are some Democrats that are very passionate. You think they are very one-sided individuals. They're staunch progressives, but it's what we like about them is that they're involved in the community, that they're doing the right job, and they represent those they're supposed to. And they haven't done anything to warrant removal. Now, Carlos Gamble Smith, he's going against a guy, a lady called Placencia. Now, she's the sister of one of the current representatives who's turned out. But Susan Placencia she's been a ghost candidate. Like, you talk about ghost candidates as a fake, but she's literally not been there for anything. So when the Democrats started to voice their opinion at the vote, you kind of like, okay, well, I'm outvoted here because you're right. We haven't seen her. She should have been there. She should have been out at some of these events. She totally didn't stand up and debate her opponent. But the Republican Party, I'm impressed, is doing a great job, absolutely spending a ton of money to get their word out there. So I know you're saying, oh my goodness, I can't understand this. Hey, Joel and John, looking good. See y'all soon. Yeah, okay. Yeah, David, we might look good, but we're sweating to death. Maybe I should go tell her to shut the window. She was doing it for me.
It feels like it's starting to get cold.
It is.
They might have.
So David will be here. So those are just some of the things that, John's not going to be totally brushed up on everything. But he's here, as kind of a support for me, so that I know I'm not here alone. Even though David's out there watching, embarrassing me. No. So let's talk about, are you registered to vote?
I am, yes. I actually voted mail-in ballot.
Okay.
I voted last week.
Now, which county?
So I actually live in Citrus County, Florida, along the nature coast, along Gulf Coast. And I went home for a week, did my mail-in, civil duty, and then came back.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter who you vote for, just
As long as they vote.
as long as you vote. And people say that, and you go, you can't be true, you can't be true. Yes, it's very true. Even for a Republican like myself. My passion is that you vote. If you win, you win. Your voice cannot be, you can't be counted, and you can't complain unless you literally cast a vote. I don't care who it was for, but you can't complain if you haven't done your part. So thank you for doing your part. Absolutely. I'm not going to ask you. I did something today that I've never done before. And I'm just trying to figure out if I should, go all the way. I filmed myself doing my ballot.
Yeah.
Filling in my ballot. I know it's a secret ballot, but I just felt actually showing people how it's supposed to be done, even if they don't agree with who I was voting for.
It's better than
show
just
them,
telling them.
hey, you can only fill out one bubble here. If you fill out two, you spoiled your ballot. I almost left two blank because I felt bad. I don't know the soil and water people. I had no clue who they were. I usually do my homework. I totally blanked out. And I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick the one on the top on this one, the one on the bottom on this one. At least I filled out my bag. If I don't like them, I can complain, right? That looks like that's good for me. So again, you can't make this shit up. So November 8th, my phone starts ringing, and it's one of my dear friends' candidates, and the candidate is pointing out some shenanigans that might be going on. So again, you can't make this shit up. If you're not out there, you're not out there. At your polling place. If you're not out there waving a sign because you're working, well, make sure that you do get a chance today to go out there and vote. But if you are out there and you're assisting your candidates, make sure you're doing things right. Make sure you're the right. Make sure you're not using nonprofits to, travel around. Your volunteers, right? There would be nothing worse than to see that nonprofit lose their, nonprofit status because they decided to you were more important than their tax deduction for their purpose. So, um, so John, we're going to talk about, I know, he's like, oh my God, I've never been on here. I barely said 2 words. Tell me, tell me about what your passion is with film and UCF, and what got you involved in your pursuit of your degree.
So I started with film back in high school. Actually, I went to Nature Coast Technical High School, and at that school, because it was a technical school, you had to have some type of focus, almost like in college where you had your degree. So we had wood shop, we had mechanics, we had culinary, and video production. So at that time, when I was a freshman, I was starting to pick my cluster. I always loved film. I loved learning behind the scenes things. I loved learning with the directors, how they filmed it, things like that. So I figured, well, this will give me a chance to actually experience how to make a film. So that was the path that I went with, was digital video production, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with writing. I fell in love with editing. Uh, Actually, going on set and filming it presented a lot of challenges, and to overcome those challenges was very, very rewarding. Especially since it's not something that the average person really knows how to do, especially learning Adobe Premiere Pro. It's a very, very technical program, so it does have quite a bit of a learning curve. But I knew from my first year, by the end of I had to take from sophomore year to senior year, and I knew by the end of sophomore year this is what I want to do. So I started looking at film schools across UCF, and said, "All right, this is the school for me." So my degree focus is film with more of a focus in creative writing. So that's why I'm trying to get into copywriting and interviews and just kind of writing whatever I can whenever I can, whether it's fiction or based on reality or something like that.
So for those that don't realize, copywriting, it's not copyright, it's copywriting, is where you write the copy for your client, right? You come up with the ideas, write the story. So one of the things that we do is we will write copy for fundraising. So when we do a fundraiser, we want to make sure that we are hitting certain points. There's the fear factor sometimes. The Democrats are gonna get you if you don't vote for them, and they can't do it without money. Please send your money in. But it's just about 4 pages. We double space it so that we have good content. But the Democrats do the same. So it's going to be fun showing you through your internship how that works. Because writing good copy is fun.
And I get a lot of joy out of it. Even before high school, doing just like state essays. I love just BSing my way through the whole thing, based on just either minimal knowledge of whatever the topic was, or just whatever prompt it was. I always loved writing. So writing in and of itself is a very big challenge, especially when doing copywriting, because you're not just writing something and hoping that you're doing good. You're writing something with a purpose, and it challenges you to do better than just BSing and throwing something out there. So I have a lot of fun with it.
So now I'm going to put you on the spot. Because now, see, you're here, and they may never see it, but if they do, you're going to be putting somebody in a box. I'm going to ask you top 3 professors. I'm not going to ask you the bottom. Never will ask you that. Just your top 3 professors in one.
Top 3 professors.
Remember, it's election day. We get to vote. So vote on the top 3.
Well, my top one, I am ashamed to say I don't remember the name because of every professor. I've never had the same professor twice.
Okay.
So my top professor would be my short script 1 professor, who made it just such a fun class because we had to write a short script and then we had to actually act it out. and I was typecast, which for those of you who don't know, typecast is when you play sort of the same character because you're that type of actor. Like Dwayne Johnson gets typecast a lot as a hero, things like that. I got typecast as the cop almost every time, just because I look like that kind of guy, I guess. So every script that had an officer in it, I was that officer by default. But it was definitely a fun class because I got to do a lot of creative things with it. Went a lot outside the box, but he did not mind that. It wasn't exactly to his prompts, but he was still very creative, and I appreciated that he appreciated that.
Fantastic. Okay.
Second favorite, I would have to say, is Marco DeGeorge. He was a directing techniques professor, or is a directing techniques professor, and he made that class very fun. He taught me about free association writing, which is where you just write. You don't worry about if it's legible. You don't worry about grammar, punctuation, anything like that. And it is a huge creative release, and it's helped me a lot in writing emails, professional emails for work, writing for myself, just whatever short scripts. And I'm sure it'll help me in the future as well. And then third favorite, I would have to say Professor Becklin. All the film students, I'm sure, know him. He is the editing professor, and he's a bit, I don't want to say off the chain, but he's not like your normal professor. He makes it very casual, very fun with it. It does a lot to help out with that learning environment, especially since he taught Adobe Premiere Pro, which, although I had already known, a lot of my co-eds did not know it, and he goes through it in a way that you definitely can learn it a little faster than if you just try YouTube videos.
Well, I'll tell you, any of you guys that do anything with Adobe, you're phenomenal, because I go from Illustrator into Photoshop, self-taught mostly, but thank God for YouTube. You guys are great. Find out so much on YouTube. But the two programs are similar, but they're so different. It gets me every time. So it's like
it's the subtle differences that really make it up.
And every one of these programs is different like that. So, yeah, you can come on over. I'm gonna say I'll talk to you later, bro. I'll talk to you. We're doing a podcast for Election Day.
About what? You guys
Yeah, there's a couple of people, my partner and stuff. So what we're doing is we're doing a podcast. It's called "You Can't Make This Shit Up." So,
okay, somebody came over here and told me.
So you can't make this shit up is those moments that you worked, that you had that incident where you go and shake your head and you go, oh my God, you can't make this shit up. This guy came in and he bumped up.
I have a lot
We have a lot of those that happen.
Yeah.
So, especially here on Election Day. So today, Election Day, we're doing You Can't Make This Shit Up. Like, you can't believe I was just outside trying to set up this thing. They said, well, it's probably going to rain. I'm like, oh, I don't care. It's not going to be. My God, it started to pour. And I was
when I got here, your stuff drenched.
Yep.
The bag was practically dripping.
So what's your name?
My name's Mia.
Mia. I'm Joel. This is John. And welcome to our podcast. You can't make this shit up. So you got to think of a story. Both of you got to think of a story. Come over, you got to tell it. You can't have any names. Yep.
Okay.
Can't have any names, but you just got to tell us a story. Like, you couldn't make it up if you tried.
I feel like I have a few.
Oh, I have a number. I got to pick just one though.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what Sierra has.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So, you can't make this shit up. I'm literally outside setting up, and it's election day, and we're gonna have a storm. Well, I'd rather be outside, but I'm inside because I got drenched, like you said. And now I'm looking outside, and the longer I'm in here, it's beautiful out there.
Well, if you really look, it's only beautiful right here. because if you look past those trees, it's just dark clouds.
I mean, but the clouds are clouds. They're not raining.
Yeah.
I mean, this blue sky over here. Okay.
As soon as we walk outside,
As
that's
soon as I set up outside, can't make the shit up. It's gonna rain on me. So then they had to get the canopies down, and she's trying to do it, and I'm like, yeah, she's not doing it right. So I reach in the middle and I pull, and it starts to come down. But it comes down fast, so it's like, okay, I just got myself wet. It's not even my job. Got myself wet. So tell me, no, favorite family. 3 favorite professors, right? So they'll all come out of the Nicholson School of Communications. And my first no longer works here, so I don't know if I can actually say anything, but
I'd say yeah.
well,
Professor.
I'll get back to it. But Lindsay Hudock, if you don't know Lindsay Hudock, she's the reason that we met, because she's in charge of quotes. She's in charge of the advertising, public relations tracks in Nicholson. And Lindsay Hudock really pushed me to work hard and have more confidence in myself, because look, my writing, I always felt I wrote good, but writing in AP style would be different. And she was very confident that I was doing the right thing. And I would tell her, look, don't give me a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and tell me to memorize it. It's not that. So let's work on a way that I can get through these tests. So we did. But at my age, it's not like I can't memorize. It's just not that. It's just not natural for me anymore. But if I do it a lot, it's repetitive. I remember. So she would make sure I was doing competitive. And then, now on the total opposite side, and I'm going to call you a lefty. My lefty professor for communications law, Mr. Collins.
Yeah.
Love him to death. He's a great professor. He did a great job. His politics were totally opposite of mine.
Is this the one that you were telling me about the other day, me and David?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because he's literally like, he's talking shit about
Right.
Ronald Reagan. He's talking shit about. I understand you don't like him, but you don't have to rip him in the middle of the class. I mean, how about us conservatives that are sitting here going, well, that's not kind of nice. I mean, LBJ was GOD, and Ronald Reagan was DEVIL. No, it doesn't matter. But it was fun because politics was not the basis of our relationship. He was a very good teacher. I told him that. But he could leave that rhetoric out. It would be even better class. But he would let the kids out of class for one portion of it if they were uncomfortable with the sexual stuff that you come across. Like there's going to be a whole section on the pornography. What is pornography? I don't know what pornography is, but I know it if I see it, kind of thing.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Well, I know what pornography looks like, but there's some art that really comes close to that border, and I'm kind of going, I don't know. See, that's one classic. That's one class we have to do. You just have to sit there and just go through all these images and start saying, that's art, that's porn, that's art, that's porn. So
Very, very fine line.
yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you can't describe it. You can see it and you go, okay. Yeah, I think anytime that, we're not going to talk about that now. We're talking about sex, money, politics, and religion. You got to do it. If you're not talking about those things, you're not talking about anything in life. Now, you can't have a good relationship with somebody unless you're talking about those subjects. You can't be hiding all that stuff. Your best relationships are like, hey, let's talk about it. I might not agree with your religion, but I respect your religion. So I'm not Muslim, but one of my friends is Muslim. I respect the fact that you can't eat pork. My biggest thing is trying to remember what has pork and what doesn't have pork. So I love Italian, and I was out with him one day, and I said, "Hey, let's go over to a local restaurant. It's an Italian place." He's like, "Oh, I like Italian." I said, "Okay." So I wanted to order the antipasta. And he's like, "Well, what's in it?" She starts naming what's in it, and you know what's in it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's all the hams and all the salamis.
All the different cured meats that you're not allowed to have in that religion. Then you get to marinara sauce, real traditional Italians. You know, they put that pork neck bone right in there for flavor, and that becomes a no-no.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there going, turning all red, embarrassed, and he's like, "Well, that's okay. I can find something. There's always something." So, okay, so he got something. I was like, "Damn, you can't make this shit up." I almost killed my best friend.
We had a moment like that at my last job. We had that moment I think I told you about called turn. We had to get all the apartments ready and whatnot. And around noon every day they get us lunch. We'd get lunch from whatever catered place around Orlando. And one day we had a barbecue restaurant. I'm not going to name what it is, but they
Better eat your fries before they get cold.
almost everything had bacon or pork or something in it. And one of our maintenance guys was devout Muslim. Couldn't eat any of it. Ended up getting a plate of mac and cheese because that was the only thing that we could get. It was just a whole bowl of mac and cheese. And we told them, like, hey, we need a vegetarian option. And that's what we got.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, tell your friend I'm sorry, but he could eat my mac and cheese. My mac and cheese has ham in it. I'll be screwed. Now my wife loves to make it with ham chunks, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
It makes it all much better.
I don't know. Is it just because pork is sinfully good that they can't have it?
I don't know. I mean, bacon is a staple in my diet. I know it shouldn't be, but it is. But
Love bacon. Haven't had bacon in almost 2 months now. But I'm doing everything in my power to be a better eater. Which, if you saw my plate right now, they would say, well,
Almost there.
Joel's definitely doing not going to have the cholesterol count that he's looking for today. But so I've been cutting back on my beef, cutting back on those pork. Eat more salads, but I have to take my medication because my acid reflux is absolutely out of control sometimes. But it's like, why are they trying to teach you, hey, you got to be eating all these good things, and when you go to eat these good things, I'm eating a salad with cucumbers, with green peppers, onions. I'm not overdoing this. I'm doing a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of vinegar, and a little bit of oil. That should be beautiful, right?
Could be.
So I get this, I eat it, I get home, and I'm like, am I having a heart attack or what? I mean, my whole chest is like just buckling over. It's like, well, that's a green pepper. And that green pepper's going to kill me. If it has its way, it is going to put me down and out. So I told my doctor, I said, what on earth? So she gave me, it's technically just Prilosec, but it's like, the only drug I can honestly say was a miracle drug. And I know what it's doing, but it's like for me, it was a miracle drug.
Yeah.
Because you take it and the relief is almost instantaneously, but you have to continue to take it. My doctor said, yeah, take a couple of days off it because you need to get some acid. So it's been working really good. But it was like, I've never had the silver bullet pill. That was pretty good. I mean, if you have acid reflux, I can definitely say like Prilosec. That is, I'm sorry, that's brand name, but I don't know what the off brand is. But yeah, it's really good. It works. It's over the counter, so I can't tell you how many times my wife and my son, oh, Dad, hey, guess what? Why don't you try a Prilosec? It'll take you to a different level of pain relief. But today we have plenty of pain relief because you can't make this shit up. This is Jay and Washington, Joel Hodgson, and my friend John, our intern. Absolutely thrilled that we have this opportunity. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to finish eating. We've done a good segment here. Yep. And so is that we've done 30 minutes. So we'll be back. So enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. You can't make this shit up.